Look at that line. I'm Britt. All of my stuff is from 10th grade, sophomore in high school, and it was on LiveJournal, which was a public forum, which I feel like only a sliver of the population remembers or did, which is great. So they were public posts, but very few people saw them.
I'm Andy Nelson, and I will be playing Andy Nelson circa 8th and 9th grade, and my writings came from my own personal journal.
I'm Rosie Ayers, and we really didn't have much of the internet when I was in 7th grade. It was dial-up, and I don't think I had a MySpace. So these are just written, brilliant pieces from about 7th grade till, the time I was 18, pre and post arrests.
My name's Adrian. My stuff comes from like 8th grade, 9th grade, somewhere around there. Now, I didn't really self-reflect enough to keep a diary or a journal, so what my material is it's from my very first social media account, pre-MySpace. So, yeah, that's gonna be great. They were completely public, and my only audience was complete strangers.
Hi, I'm Thane. My stuff was also from LiveJournal, 9th and 11th grade. Really quick, you guys should feel free to step up and grab a drink or something during the show. It's not considered impolite. That's part of the point of being in a bar. So enjoy that. Also, I have been pronouncing your name as Ayers for the last 5 years, I think, and I just now learned that was wrong. So thank you so much. Thank you for that. And this is...
Hi, I'm Mark Allen Hanka. My name is Don Furman. I was flatteringly asked to fill in for Mark. He had foot surgery, I guess, right?
Yeah, he had an injury on his dog.
Freak dog accident. Anyway, he couldn't be here, so I'm going to be reading stuff. This is all pretty much pre-high school, high school, and leading into his college career. And there you go.
Thank you, and with that, we welcome you to totally enjoy the ups, downs, good, bad, and ugly that is Do or Diary, writings from and about our adolescence.
Today, I bought this book so I could record the important things and current events that are happening in my life. By the way, if someone other than Andy Nelson is reading this, shut the book now or you will face serious consequences. Sorry, Andy.
March 31st, 2007. Today I bought this book so I could record the important things and current events that are happening in my life. By the way, if someone other than Andy Nelson is reading this book, shut it now, or you will face serious consequences. Thank you. The last few years of my life have been really busy and exciting. I thought writing in here would be a way for me to tell all about what's happening. Maybe years from now, I'll look back in here. I'll try to write in here as often as I can, but I can't promise anything. I will try to write a section each day for current events, like what's going on in the news. Some of the information that I write in here will be very confidential. So once again, if you're not Andy Nelson, please close this book now. Thank you. Right now...
February 23rd, 1992. I'm 13. I did just face charges for Grand Theft Auto. A month before. Dear Diary, I will write every day that I remember. Today I stole this beautiful diary. And if anyone is reading this, you suck a lot and you don't understand privacy and you must be super stupid. Or I gave you permission because you can handle it. Or I really, really like you. To sum it all up, I have two awful perfect sisters who don't even know I exist and never let me wear their cool clothes. Well, Sarah does. I mean, at least her pleated skirt. And Katie doesn't have cute clothes. I like too many boys to decide which one. But maybe I'm still in love with, well, you know, JF. Or maybe CM, not sure. The boys I could date are Kyle, Riley, John, James, Jesse, Aaron, and maybe Josh again, and Pat, if he wasn't so nice. I hate my parents. If they ground me again, I'm gonna date and sex all over the boys just to show them. I hate them. I hate them. Except not all the time. I love my dog. All right, more tomorrow.
Right now,
September 15th, 2004. Okay, just made LiveJournal account. Right, so, school is going really well for me. Easy 4.0 average. I'm having a hell of a lot more fun here than in middle school. Played around 5 games on BNet of Warcraft 3 and won every single one. Woo! Thank you. I knew that when all 3 of my teammates left, and I still won majorly, that good things were going to happen. Made the honor choir tape, and unless I'm much mistaken, I'm gonna make it. Got screen name from book. The mighty Azathoth is an alien moron god that rules the universe. Bwahaha! Salutations from the weasels, mighty Azathoth screams.
right now,
February 24th, 2005. This isn't meant to be read. I just need to lay some things out for mental clarity. So I've got to pick up my application for the National Honor Society /Pyarian thing to fill out and turn in at the end of the week. This is something I felt that I belonged to ever since I came to high school. It's just what you do. I begin to fill out GPA, 4.0 unweighted, and community projects, 330 hours of volunteer work so far, and leadership qualities at Katera. I was really into Latin. When I come to the portion of requirements stating that under no circumstances is someone allowed in if they've ever been suspended while at Leon. Fun fact, I was suspended 10th grade right before writing this. Well, fuck. So I can't join this year, and what's worse, I can't join ever for any year while I'm in high school. So it can never be on my college application. This shouldn't be getting to me as bad as it is, but I just can't help it. It's starting to go deeper than just making the society. It's making me feel like a bad person. The whole thing is talking about how they only accept the most exceptional people with this and that and outstanding personalities, and it makes me ask myself if all I have going for myself are my grades and accomplishments. Am I really not up to par? Am I missing the piece of kindness and righteousness and, well, personality that sets me aside from the elite group of good people? I don't know. I just know that it's making me feel like shit. And then after this weekend's competition and fucking that one up, I just honestly wasn't feeling so hot. Well, I'm still not. But people make things so much better. I was with Scotty, Trevor, and Tom last night, and it was the first time I felt happy all week. I love the people I surround myself with. I hope I don't ever miss the opportunity to tell them.
right now, you good? Okay. Right now, I would like to take the time to tell you what's happened in the last year. I'm in the 8th grade, and I'm having a blast. Right now, we're in the 3rd trimester of school. I got my report card back last semester, and I got all A's. This last year in cross country, I did awesome. I took 1st place at the first meet, and 2nd every time after that. My goal was to beat Kyle Nielsen every time. Shh, don't tell anyone I said that. I was in basketball again. We didn't do so hot, and I'm just starting track. Uncle Donnie, aka Gordo, and Teresa are the proud grandparents of a baby girl. Her name's Babe. Bob even quit drinking when she was born. The bad part is that Donnie and Teresa will be moving back to Cheyenne to help take care of the baby. On the good side of things, Uncle Jake is moving back to Williston. Cody will come back from living with his sister in Washington when school's out. And Jed has been living with Grandma Carol and working for his Uncle Mark.
Today am again in the past. I thought of how, after 11 years, 4-H is over. I had so much fun and met so many people. Now it's over. I thought about a classmate who just got married. Now she's off and all the times we had are gone. She was 4-H with me all those years and went to school with me. This morning I thought of how I miss my collie dog at home. He's probably sad because no one lives at home now. I again thought of how it was before my parents divorced. I thought about what I'd be doing at home this time of year. Harvest would be going on and I'd be getting the yard ready for winter. It is crisp outside, a twinge of autumn fills the air. The bins are making a roar while drying the Milo inside them. I miss my brother and worry about him. I miss home and my wonderful childhood. Before my grandparents died, all my cousins from Louisiana came up. Now they don't. That was the highlight of my summers. We don't have family reunions in the park anymore. Life seems busier and there doesn't seem to be a time for that anymore.
He likes his job. A few months after Grandpa died, Grandma sold the farm and moved into town. She likes it there. Dad's going to quit farming and is getting ready for the auction he'll be having. I don't want him to quit. He's been working construction in Sydney at the hospital. Mom's been busy with her job. It's stressful, but I think she likes it. We had to put Daphne to sleep. She was getting pretty old. I miss her. This year, Jamie Hernus got into a car wreck and died. It was a really sad time in school. We got a new band teacher, Mr. Ratliff. He's cool. He even asked me if I would like to be the drum major next year. Yesterday, I heard that the ag teacher, Mr. Akers, resigned. I'm pretty happy about that. He's not committed and he's a lousy teacher. Our church will be having its 100th anniversary this July.
October 19th, 2004. Okay, opening up an opinion thread here. Religious beliefs. Always an interesting topic. Please don't hate me for posting this. Adieu. Current mood, sleepy.
Everyone has been getting ready for that. I get to take driver's ed this summer. A few months ago, Saddam Hussein was hanged.
Yeah, I was doing the show last night, and at the end of the show, I'm supposed to act like I'm, possessed and then fall over dead. So when I go to fall over, I hit a chair with my ribs, fall off the chair, and smack my head on it, then got rug burn on my knee when I hit the ground. Of course, the audience didn't know that was supposed to happen, so they just ate it up. Apparently, it looked painful because one of my co-actors came up to me, when it was her cue, obviously, and whispered to me, "Are you okay, Adrian?" Not to worry her, I just said, "Yeah." So now I have a bruise on my chest, forehead, and some skin is missing on my knee. But hey, if it made the show look any better, I would do it every show.
In my opinion, he got what he deserved. Christian's going to college. I'm taking part in the Horizons program, which is a program that focuses on poverty in our community. It's really interesting. Last summer I climbed 2 mountains, the Bear's Hat in Glacier Park and Mount of the Holy Cross in Colorado. I climbed them both with my dad. We will not be going to Colorado for my piano institute this year because of the church's anniversary. I also plan to get a job this summer. Well, that's about all I can think about at the top of my head. This is what I did today. It's my second day in Minot with Larry and Beth. I slept in Christian's dorm last night. Larry went back to Ray, a small town in North Dakota, for an auction. We went to Beth's old roommate's house after we got up. She's got a hot daughter. After that, we went to the mall, Best Buy, and Walmart. I bought Now 24, I Love Lucy, the complete second season, and of course, this book. We tried to go swimming, but there were way too many people in the pool because of some dumb hockey tournament. We ate at the Royal Fork. It wasn't bad for a nasty buffet. I hate buffets. Current events. The Kids' Choice Awards were today. They were hosted by Justin Timberlake.
May 1st, 2005. How long has it been since this girl has smiled all over thinking of a boy who she doesn't want to mess with, doesn't want to tease, doesn't want to play with? How long has it been since I've wanted to just kiss someone? I don't think I've ever had a real kiss. I've done stuff with more people than I'm comfortable admitting, but to kiss someone, it has to be different. Thinking about it, I've only done it saying goodbye and in order to lead to something else. Why? Oh, that's right, it's too intimate. Have I ever been intimate? Ever? Seriously? It's like all my sexual games are just fronts and fast movement because I'm fucking terrified of going slow. Because if you slow down, you just might find that I'm scared. That actually kissing someone would be terrifying because it means intimacy. Why is that so frightening? I think I really like Eric. So much that I don't want to touch him. No penis, no playing, just being real. Is it possible? He asked me to prom. I've been smiling ever since.
Man, prom is tomorrow. Thank God I got myself a date. She's really good looking too. I'm spazzing out like usual as well. We should have fun though. I'm not worried, just under stress. Considering I waited to the last minute to ask her, I did good. I'm going out to get me a tux around 7. That gives me about 1.5 hours to do what I want. I'm probably gonna put some pictures up so you guys and gals can see me and my date. Tomorrow's gonna rock my socks. Update. Okay, last night, went off, got my tux. Not to brag, but I look badass in a tux. You guys, when you see a pic of me, will be like, dude, you look awesome. You make lesbians rethink their lives. Yeah. And you ladies out there will be like, OMG, Adrian, you're so hot. I wish I lived in Montana. And then there's just the longest ellipses you've ever seen. Okay, maybe not the part about living in Montana. This place sucks.
May 19th, 2005. I don't know where to start. Broad sweeping emotions, details of happiness and sadness and everything between the poles of existence. No, Brit, wrong. Circle. Circles are so much better than poles. Last Friday, Scotty, Trev, Patrick, Eric, and I go cruising around. We stop at a park and swing. When is the last time you've been on a swing at night and closed your eyes? Simply amazing. We were able to engage in some fun back at Patrick's until we were all dropped off. Oh, B-E-E, T-T-E-E, W-Y-E-W. B-T-W. My parents were in New Orleans the whole weekend. Grand. I kissed Eric in the car on the way home. It was so right. Saturday was prom. Parentheses, insert excited and happy noises in parentheses. So much happened, yet it was all so simple. We danced and we were close and everyone was beautiful. Celeste's hair made my day. We went to the lake afterwards and just sat enjoying the night.
Updates. Well, prom wasn't so bad. I had fun. My date looked hot. I looked hot. LOL. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to wait on pictures, all right? Update from like 15 years later. I later found out that my date had gone with me to prom as a friend, and she made out with my brother that night.
This past week was hell. I'm feeling so inadequate in school. This year's just been horrid in academic terms. I retch at the thought, actually. No, seriously. Saw Star Wars 3 Wednesday/Thursday at 12:01.
I saw Star Wars Episode 3. It was the darkest movie ever. But it was also the coolest. Nothing else like the others. George, you really outdid yourself.
And Thursday, the seniors left, and it's Well, I'm so goddamn empty, and I go to the lake with Eric in order to keep him occupied until throwing him a surprise going away party, but wait. In my upsetness, I forgot to call my parents, so they got really upset / worried and made me come home. So no party, no lake, no solitude. Earlier that day, someone told me who did the senior prank, and later someone asked me, a friend who knew the person who did it, so what the fuck, who cares? I go to chorus, and Terry sits me down and asks if I'd been telling people about it. No, I hadn't. Someone told me, and one person asked. He told me that the drama department was under investigation, and the person I told on me. Petty, petty, petty shit. Except it's not, because that was the last fucking day the seniors were at school, and I can't say that it wasn't me. And now drama will hate me for a while, meaning I can't get back into it and something I truly love. Whatever, I am so done with that dilemma.
September 17th, 2004. Just sat around all school day with nothing to do. Played Theo in Magic the Gathering. Would have kicked his ass, but had to quit. The 25 win icon for Warcraft is mine! With 5 exclamation marks. Not much else. Sitting here and feeling depressed. Wah.
But I'm not done with people. Beautiful people who enter my life just to leave or be separated or to say I love you and die. Nothing gold can stay, but my God, can it remain silver. I've always thought silver was a prettier color anyways. Eric leaves so soon, and when I came directly home Thursday, I opened the door to absolutely screaming and fighting from my parents about not calling and everything else. That on top of physical non-well-being, my stomach stopped working and is on strike digesting food. I just couldn't continue, and I broke down and just cried on my bed for so long. And then my dad missed some of my sister's band concert, making me an even worse person to stay and talk with me. I hate crying so much, and even more when people want to talk about things. He stayed until I would tell him I was upset, and I just couldn't, which made me even more upset. I couldn't just lay out that I'm falling in love with someone who's leaving, that I still love someone who will fall out of my life, how I was blamed for something I really didn't do, and that I couldn't fix it, that people I love are leaving, and no matter what they say, people can leave us forever, and it hurts so fucking bad.
Well, maybe some of you have heard this from me, but I just lost my first love. This really sucks. I've been crying like a baby for the last hour or so. Now I know why they say love hurts. It hurt even more when I talked to my dad about it. He thought he helped, but he really didn't. I honestly never want to love again if it hurts this bad to lose someone you love. I think I now know why certain kids cut their wrists. Now, I've done it quite a bit since I lost Angie. That's her name. But hey, what can I do but go on with my life? I could kill myself, but then I'd be dead. So I think I'll just cut my arm and make me worry about the pain on my arm and forget the pain in my heart. But then again, this was going to happen anyway. Look at my occupation. I don't know what that last
You're in
sentence
8th
means.
grade.
I was in the 8th grade. I don't know what that last sentence means, by the way.
I might have. I had a very rich internal life.
I couldn't say that I'm going to make a bad grade in a class that I'm not able to bring it up, and that in order to hold off on failure, I have to extra study hard on everything coming up in the class and the final. I couldn't tell him that despite that, I've been so upset that I fucked myself out of any chance of pulling up the grade based on horrid performances on the last quizzes of the year. I couldn't say how lonely I feel and how much I love life and hate the fact that some of it is leaving me. The only thing I could tell him was that I couldn't tell him what was up because it made me feel inferior. It made me feel like I had failed even more. And he looked so hurt that I was hurting myself by not talking, but I just couldn't. And so I write it in here, not so all of you can see and send love, although it's welcome, but because if I make it tangible, I can forget about it just for now, just for a few hours. Josh Thompson was at Star Wars. I need to call him. But in every way, I don't.
Girls are so complex. I mean, girls are simple and complex at the same time. I don't know why I can't live without them. I just want to make them happy. But is it wrong to make someone else happy when you're not? Your thoughts, please.
I'm happy. I'm happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Happiness is me. Happy, happy, happy. Mediocrity, no. Happy, 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 happy. Happy, happy. Parentheses, believe him, he's happy, and parentheses. The above is saved from a stored draft, which, end quote, which I wrote about a week ago. Ashley wrote some of it. Anyhow, I was just dragged home right before lunch that I might take care of my faking sick little brother while I... Oh shit! Hey Kean, what's up? So he was faking sick, and I had to be taken out of school to take him. You'll get it, it's in here. Faking sick little brother while my mother goes to work. Sheesh, as if I'm not skinny enough already. It's a pity, I was much skinnier. It's a pity too, I was really looking forward to eating lunch in Mr. Davidson's room. Again. There's a period after room and again, I'm not sure why, that seems like a weird rhetorical point to make. Like, because I think I liked it. Anyhow, I guess I'll just give away my love and such. Much love to Meg, much love to Tor, much love to Theo, and to Kian, and to Sarah. Very much love to Ashley. Mucho lovo. Bueno. Por favor. And then I've got like the emoticon that's like a greater than sign, period, greater than sign. That's like our eyes darting over that way.
Side eye.
Yeah, yeah.
August 14th, 2007. I hope nobody ever gets a hold of this book, because if they did, they would find out that I just jacked off for the first time ever. I don't know why I'm so excited. I hope that's a sign that I'm really fertile and can have lots of kids. But I'll talk about something less disgusting. On Saturday night, Christian and I went to Walmart. Wait, no, that doesn't say Walmart. That says the Warrant concert in Glendive. They played on a trailer and they sang Cherry Pie. It was really cool.
I am on my first official day of spring break, and I'm loving it. No parents, only me, computer, whacking material, and my hand. I'm just kidding. Well, it's fun anyways.
February 7th, 1997. Wolf and Justin have been working at the same bagel joint. I'm in a big mess. Wolf just called and told me that he told Justin that we'd had sex and that he might have gonorrhea. Side note, it was the flu. I know, I had to call a lot of people and make a lot of apologies. He may never want to speak to me again. And he wants me and Justin out of his lives, which will be very hard because they work at the same bagel dog shop. What a handful. My car is overheating. I'm spending money like a madwoman and eating tons. I miss everything familiar, but I can't seem to grow if I stay in my comfort zone. This is certainly not comfortable. What zones are comfortable? I'm talking to Justin tomorrow about this. I'm scared. But what's the worst that he can say to me? Nothing I haven't been called before, I guess. I think I'll just need to stay in the now and trust the universe to show me the way. Maybe I'll eat a bagel. I like bagels. I'm really hungry.
My penis is mad at me. Enough said.
It says LOL.
LOL.
LOL. I was keeping it ironic and light.
November 12th, 2004. Post deleted to prevent future embarrassment / blackmail.
April 16th, 2007. I got really bored, so I decided I would walk to Grandma and Grandpa's farm. After about 1.5 miles out of town, I had to take a crap, and I found myself a nice big hill to go behind, so I did. By the way, grass is not a very good toilet paper, so the rest of the way there I had an itch. That was fun. I did a lot of exploring. When I finally got there, nobody was home, so I watched TV.
Okay, so now I'm a firm believer in karma. I farted in my cousin's doorway and waved the air into his room. But when waving my hand, I accidentally jammed one of my fingers on the door frame. It's hard to type.
Having mono and other problems, August 1976. 1976 has had its ups and downs, but it seems to me more downs. Here, nearing school, I look back on the summer of 76 now and realize that I have problems. First of all, after 21 years of marriage, my parents are fighting and not getting along. In June this year, it's been the breaking point. That's when David and I found it was serious.
June 24th, 2007. This morning we went to church, came home. Mom and Dad had a pointless fight over nothing. I did driver's ed homework and played The Sims 2. We listened to me singing on the radio when I sang in Williston, and we went to Beth's 50th birthday. She's half a century old.
December 10th, 2006. God, my parents are freaks. I just cleaned the kitchen. If you've never been in our house, which all but 2 of you, I believe that is true for, you probably don't know, but our kitchen is a bloody pigsty. It's disgusting. Ever since Tor left, I've cleaned it a couple of times a month, and I do a bad job. Anyhow, it took me about 1.5 hours. For that entire time, my parents talked to each other about a computer game. That's not the sad part. The sad part is that they weren't discussing how much they liked it or the mechanics. They were talking about their guild, sort of group of people, and how my father was causing a major rift. There was yelling, there were quiet voices, there were accusations. I saw more emotion out of my parents in 1.5 hours over a computer game than I did in the past week. Jesus, I love my parents.
Jesus, I hate my parents. I wrote a song for them. It's a cappella. Sometimes I just want to explode. Sometimes I just want to load my shotgun and blow you behind a shrubbery line and forget all about your existence. Oh, forget about your existence. Sometimes I just want to die. Sometimes I just want to try to bite off your nose and stick it in your eye, and stick it in your eye, and forget all about your existence. Oh, forget about your, you get it.
Okay, let me clear up the history. My mom and dad separated when I was 2. Ever since I was 5, I've always visited my mother in another state. Up until recently, she didn't contact me at all. It's been like this for around a year now. In that time, she has refused to pay child support, help pay for any medical bills and whatnot. So I just got an email from her asking for my phone number, and she wants to check up and see how I'm doing. What am I supposed to do? Just let her walk back into my life, or do I not give her my number? I'm torn between these decisions. This isn't going to help me get any better from being sick already.
Then, of course, the droughts that came along with the summers. It always is depressing when the crops and grass is drying up. The fair was disappointing, especially when my calf did much worse than expected. My animals sold low, and I'm going to lose money. That's when I found out I had mono. Later, I couldn't go on vacation to Canada with Dad, Mike, and David. Now Grandma's in the hospital and is really bad. So things could be better. The only fun this summer was 4-H, the bicentennial, the Olympics, and political conventions.
April 29th, 2005. Hi, you've reached Britt Garner's immune system. I'm not here right now, but if you leave your pathogen name and description, I'll be sure to send some white blood cells as soon as possible. Have a stress-free day. Beep. And so it said to me this morning. The clouds are forming all around me, and it's going to rain so hard. And then the sun will shine, and we'll all go play in the puddles.
October 8th, 2007. Today I went to school. Big surprise, huh? I didn't go to practice, though. I'm coming down with a cold or something, and I don't want to get sick before state. Current events. The Rockies, Indians, Diamondbacks, and Red Sox are the only 4 teams left in the series. This is the furthest the Rockies have ever come since they became a franchise. Go Rockies.
I love baseball so much.
Just really quick, Rockies is in full caps with 2 exclamation marks and underlined twice.
Go Rockies!
December 10th, 2006. Ugh, was the title of the post. Was sick today. Called in to tell work that I couldn't come. Got the owner of the establishment. Sigh. Hey Gary, this is Thane. I'm sick. Well, I wish that you would have called in a little earlier, but I guess if you're sick, you're sick. Click. Sigh. Shit.
I'm currently at home sick. Black. That's a word. I've got that you're about to puke taste in my mouth. I've had better days. Not to mention the fact that I feel dizzy, have neck aches, and am tired. On a happier note, yesterday at play practice, I didn't know the word rehearsal apparently. We for some solos. I'm in the musical Once Upon a Mattress, and my favorite song is called The Song of Love, or better known as I'm in love with a girl named Fred. It's so funny. Wow, this is certainly one of my longer journals. Smiley face emoji. Fill the bowl to overflowing, raise the goblet high, with an F and an R and an E and a D and an F-R-E-D, Fred. Yay!
You can sing well enough for solos now. Spring break was grand. I hate Easter. I love my friends. Way too much fun. Way 6 Ys. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks incessantly. I think my immune system quit after getting its ass handed to it by stress chemicals. Poor thing. Must be quite a tough fight. I still don't feel good. There's a gash in my foot. My eyes and throat are down for the count. I still don't have a car. Schedules come out next week. I don't know what to do. I have this perfect goal in mind. I know what I want to do, what I'm going to contribute, how I'm going to change the fucking world and rock it on its axis, and yet I'm having internal and external fights with people that just don't matter, of things that I can't help thinking are superfluous. I need to get out of this country. I want to go sailing for a long time. I want to sit down and talk to Andrew like I haven't in a long time, and I want us to figure out life for the next year and for everything to be okay. I want Terry to not have screwed Brooks on the beach last weekend. I want to love someone. I need silence. Stones are stars in water without neutrinos to guide them. They are the ones who fall without adenine. Play for me, Apollo, don't hide behind the waves. Gentle nymphs are sweetly singing in the guise of your Kithara. That's my attempt at poetry. It's quantum physics, adenine, which is a nucleotide, and Latin things. It's as close as it gets. As close as it gets.
This has no quantum physics in it. January 21st, 1999. Sitting at the laundromat, listening to Primus. They'll be here in a month. My head hurts. Clean clothes for another blind date tonight. Seems overrated. This is blind date number 6. Side note, blind date number 2 never called me back after he found out I'd been arrested for public nudity. And yeah. Blind date number 5 went to the bathroom after he found out I'd been in the psych ward and never came back.
4 for 6.
My friend Mikey keeps trying to set me up with the perfect guy. This one's a ski instructor. I don't even ski. I'm almost unpacked. Missoula's so smoggy. I love it. It feels like a mystery novel. I hope I'm not the victim of a mentally disturbed wealthy doctor or a shy, hidden, demented librarian. I have a meeting I'd really like to hit this week. What a bummer if I'd be dead for it. I should really try writing a mystery novel.
May 30th, 2007. Excuse me. Both my parents gave me a wake-up call this morning at 8:30. Christian came over this morning with one of the baby cats. I went with him and Lauren up to the hospital to show Vi. Then I went to the bank. My dad gave me a savings bond of his that Grandma Nina gave him in 1977. At the time, it was a $100 savings bond, and I cashed it, and it was worth $552. I was really excited. Then I mowed the duplex across the street, and at 3:45, I went to play practice.
Andy, are we brothers?
I know, battery. Okay, so my online persona, my username has basically always been battery, and that's because my initials are AA, and at the time I was really dealing with a lot of ADHD, so I would just go. So battery. You guys needed to know. I know, battery loves to make fun of the emo kids, but now he is one. LOL. I'm still wearing the eye makeup from play practice last night. And it didn't come off. So I wore my one emo shirt, and I'm gonna act emo today. That emo shirt, by the way, was just a green and black striped shirt. I even have a little fake plastic knife, like the ones in the cafeteria, and I'm going to cut myself on all day. It was like 2006. Give me a break.
February 27th, 2005. Last night was brilliant. Scotty and I went to Chappie's house to rehearse our lines for A Midsummer Night's Dream. Funny as hell. At which point we convinced Matt to come with us contra dancing, as well as Trevor. We all ate at Sonic and proceed to the senior center. Highlights of dancing. Dancing with Chapman and watching him get better and better. Seeing Miss Hokinson. Dancing with Trevor, sporting a huge grin. String music. Matt taking off his shoes and socks after 15 minutes of peer pressure. The girl with the short skirt that revealed her thong and ass when she spun. Matt calling himself a hobbit. Taking a picture of Scotty taking a shit. Having a sore left calf. Highlights. We then travel to Lake Ella and lie down together on a blanket. Yum. Upon leaving, Matt, Scotty, and I are approached by a car with 2 gay guys in it. Drunk gay guys. Drunk 30-year-old gay guys. They ask me for directions to Paradise Grill, but decide instead that it would be a better idea to invite us there as dates, because they were gay and, quote, wouldn't do anything, end quote. Oh, and then the passenger tried to hand me his gin and tonic. I think the driver had one as well. I had a Latin study session today, and they made the final decisions for the state team. I didn't make it, but it doesn't bother me because I wasn't really trying, and now I have time for having hardcore sex with History Fair, and winning that. The end. Oh, and I saw Tom on the way back from Latin. I can still smell him on my shirt. People chemicals.
A list I made of places I want to have sex in the future. As a 15-year-old. It's called Would You Could You in a Boat with a Goat. On a nice car. In a big cattle skull. Completed! Woo! That's what it says right there. In a warm windstorm. In a velvet room. In school somewhere that's not a bathroom. On a pool table. On a subway train, in a sauna or a steam room, but not both. On a trampoline, in a weight room, in the fog, in a museum. I had a hard time spelling it. cemetery. On Capitol steps, at the Woodman Fountain, in Wendy's. Classy. In a dressing room in a theater, of course. On a buffalo. Spider swinging. Glass elevator. On the railroad tracks with the train coming.
Oh shit.
Because a sauna and a steam room is too tacky. September 30th, 2004. Salutations! Okay, to begin, a few days ago, I found out that my math grade has dropped from a 105 to a 91. Yeah, that's what a couple of forgotten assignments will do to you. A few words for you. Got a 265 on my map test. I don't know about you, but that's good, in my opinion.
What's a map?
MAP is like measured academic progress. I think I may just score a 150 or so on the next one, so that when the government looks at the average change in scores up the next one, they'll say, looks like the CHS freshmen have on average dropped 15 points. More funding is required. Because when I was a freshman, I knew why No Child Left Behind was really stupid. I just didn't realize what No Child Left Behind did. Actually, I think that no one in my math class comes close to matching my skill and intelligence. Oh well. Today, I completely slaughtered someone who will remain nameless due to the possibility of embarrassment in magic. Now, he claims it was because he was completely mana-screwed, but of course I know that I'm just a god in magic. Don't have to go to school tomorrow, booyah!
God damn it! You wrote this.
There's the lights and my hair's not, it's all weird. Speech and drama started today, first meeting. It was cool. Oh, that's actually how this leads. I see. Speech and drama started today, first meeting. It was cool, and I came upon two conclusions. A, I will be in Lincoln Douglas debate. And B, I will kill Chris Flynn. In all honesty. Side note, I was neither in Lincoln Douglas debate nor did I actually kill Chris Flynn. Watched the presidential debates today. I swear they could run that as a comedy. Is it possible that the United States could possibly vote for that moron again? Current mood, lazy.
May 31st, 2007. We did the play today, twice. We performed it in front of the school people and then for the general public. I didn't forget my lines once. People actually laughed at me. I was so happy. We were at the Armory all day. I went home for a couple hours before the second play and made cookies for the bake sale. Current events. Roxy Britton got to go on the Ellen DeGeneres show. So Roxy grew up in Freud, which is 14 miles north of Culbertson, and the reason she was on the Ellen show was because she was the only graduating senior in her class. Eastern Montana. Also, the police caught a dude who sends out spam and lives in Seattle.
October 5th, 1976. Now it's October and things are worse. I've become depressed, sad, and lonely. I went to the state fair and didn't do so well. But when I was there, I met a guy, Brian Kindall of Minneapolis. He was a good guy, and now I realize I may never see him again. Why in life does time go by and you have to forget and never see people so close to you? You know, all the fun I had when I was smaller, All those times are gone. With the Bryans, the Vishneskis, the Slavics, the Cortanos, the Balls, the Haliks, and others. I'm having to work out in the field, which I hate. Dad's tearing up land and trees I disapprove of. Life is going too fast now. I'm not ready for more and more problems popping up. School is rough. The weather is, however, a little better. I just pray to God things seem and get better in the future. I'll always remember Brian Kendall.
October 28th, 2007. Hello. I've been busy, okay? Last weekend was state cross country. I took 28th, which was way better than I thought I would. I beat Fred and Wendon. Our team took 7th. Morgan took 3rd. The girls took 7th too. Mrs. G and Mr. O were our chaperones because Mr. Solom was busy coaching Aaron in the delivery room. They had a boy they named Brooks. Carson and Brooks. Sounds like a law firm, huh? Anyway, there's a lot of building going on around town. Larry and Lori Pearson broke ground on their house. The Berwicks have dug their basement. The Williams have a house all moved and ready for them. Ryanans are building their garage. And now Kit has nowhere to play. Friday night I finished the Harry Potter series. I think it ended well. I hope she keeps writing. Sorry. Yesterday, Heckles and I went bowling. My 2 best scores were 143 and 147. Jed even came over to visit with Danny and a couple of her friends. Danny turned out to be a lesbian. Jed's my brother, so I give him shit. Yeah. Okay, great. Today we went to church. Chris Hoffman's girlfriend and her 2 daughters came. I hope they keep coming. I also found out today that Lila has cancer. She's going to Billings for treatment.
I have decided that green is an ugly color. Fuck it. It's practically the color of puke. Not only that, but if evil was a color, it would be green. Disney stole that shit from me. Alright. Not to mention that my cousin is an ass. He's a total coke. Not to mention he sniffs it too. Your guess is as good as mine, I don't fucking know. Yeah, my mom was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Very much true, no joke. And is driving out to Spokane tomorrow morning. She's having one of her coworkers watch us, as if we need it. Oh well.
Then Dad and I ground flour for the bazaar next week. After that, I baked cookies and then went to the community concert with Grandma and Grandpa. It was a Frank Sinatra impersonator that was really good. His name was Steve. I kind of have a crush on Kelly. I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship, but I really like her. I wish she was a little less taller than me, though. Current events. The Rockies lost the World Series. Oh well, there's always next year. Unless you're the Vikings. Marie Osmond fainted on Dancing with the Stars. Dumbledore's gay. Okay, whatever. Stephen Colbert is running for president. What's the world coming to? Carrie Underwood has a new CD. I bought it. She's hot.
October 30th, 1976. Well, things look better. I won a trip to the American Royal Youth Conference, but Mom and Dad are still in it. I pray to God they are all right. Grandma's weak and has to have surgery. School looks slightly better.
Well, as I said before, my mom was diagnosed with cervical cancer. They aren't sure if it's fatal or not.
So she left this morning to go to Spokane. The only reason she has to go out of state is because there is literally no doctor who can perform the surgery. If everything goes as expected, she might have to have all her lady organs removed. They also think that the cancer has spread to her colon. So we really don't know what to expect. But we might get lucky and not have to worry about all that stuff. What makes things worse is that me, my cousin, and my brother have to stay here in Montana. We have no idea how long she's going to be out, so we'll be parentless for quite a while.
December 18th, 1976. A lot has happened since last time. Dad and Mom got into a fight, and Dad got drunk and cried. The next day he was in the hospital for alcoholism. He stayed there a week. Now he doesn't drink, and Mom and Dad are getting along a lot better. The weather is depressing. We've only had one small snow and no more. The last good rain was September 25th. It was very cold and below zero in November. Now it's December and it's 60. Mom got a new cutlass. Christmas is almost here. Grandma was in the hospital. School is awful. 3 classes with C averages. Belleville lost 2 games in a row by 1 point.
December 25th, 2006. So I'm going to be a conformist and talk about Christmas. Blah, blah, blah. Atheist. Blah, blah, blah. Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Manipulation of celebration of Christ's birth into a time for selling toys. Blah, blah, blah. Store. Blah, blah, blah. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Now saw it off. Blah, blah, blah. Good food. Blah, blah, blah. Great presents. Blah, blah, blah. Too much wine. Blah, blah, blah. Hangover. Blah, blah, blah. Christmas Day. Blah, blah, blah. Walking on water. Ice. Blah, blah, blah. Cleaning in dust. Blah, blah, blah. Shower. Now I'm typing this to you.
December 25th, 2007. Merry Christmas!
So yeah, her and my dad got home yesterday. They were acting normal, so that put me in high hopes. Yeah. Let's see. She starts chemo soon, and hopefully she won't lose any hair. The doctor says that she will probably keep it, but she'll have to get her ovaries, fallopian tubes, and part of her cervix removed. I don't know much more than that. I'd like to thank everyone who supported me and encouraged me.
February 8th, 1977. Another crisis for Mom and Dad, the worst I've seen so far. The Buffs have had a very sad season. We did beat 2 state-ranked teams, but out of 10 losses, 8 have been close heartbreakers. In school, I've done worse again. We've had some past snows, but the drought is here.
February 19th, 2005. Last night, I had Scotty and Trevor over to watch Garden State. It was a beautiful movie, literally and figuratively, leaving me completely bittersweet. It made me happy as I watched the resolution, not only between the characters, but representative of life. I haven't cried that hard in a long time. At one point, they mentioned safety, and I was gone. I remember that safety and remember even more clearly losing that safety. Sometimes things just fit, and why? Just why do we warp the last piece? I was glad to have them there watching it with me, though. It made thinking about it a little easier. They make me so happy. And then, under the influence of, well, who knows? It was alcohol. I know, it was alcohol. Under the influence of, well, who knows? I told Waylon that I liked him and had liked him since the summer. I woke up thinking, fuck, why did I do that? Only to realize that, why the fuck not do that? Isn't it the most amazing feeling to know that someone likes you thoroughly and completely? Then why would we ever hold ourselves back from giving that knowledge to someone? I'm glad I told him, even though it's not returned, for the mere reason that he deserved to know. And now he does. Today I went skeet shooting with Trevor and Scotty. My God, did that feel good. It was really fun. I love Trevor's family, even down to the dog. I dropped Scotland off, then went to play pool with Trevor and Tom. It's days like this that remind me of how beautiful our time with people is. Just being able to be held by Tom or play pool ferociously with Trevor makes time disappear. Do we ever realize we make our own memories? I would hate to be about to go to bed and miss out on the entire day. If we don't act now, there will be nothing to smile about tomorrow. Just remember that. And thanks for the great day.
A list of things to do before I'm 20, made by 15-year-old Rosie. Go to Missoula for tats. I did do it.
Yeah.
Have a toga party.
Did you do it?
Yes.
Yay!
Go to Tijuana, Spain, and Vegas. 2 out of 3. Have a party with angry amputees, angry bitches, Irish midgets that play soccer, dress them all in yellow leather, and invite dumb guys named Neil.
Not yet. 2 out of 6.
Create a company with piano tuning old people wearing plaid. Call it Mopperd. I don't know why. I didn't play the piano either. Write a poem book. Check. It's in my purse. Don't look at it. Get a vet. As in the car, not as in like a Vietnam. Find a warm windstorm. Ride an elephant. Have a laughing fight. Go swimming in a really big mud puddle in the summer at night. Build a Smurf cave. Go resin wrestling with bathing caps on. Have a velvet room. Find a choir shell during a windstorm. I don't know why I like windstorms so much. Get a whole bunch of glowing bouncy balls in a dark room with mirrors. Scream my sins at the top of the world. Memorial Kentucky Mud Wrestling Festival? Question mark? Do a loop-de-loop. I don't know in what. I don't know. I hate planes. I don't like planes. Stand under a street lamp and slap someone. Yes, Chuck.
April 29th, 2007.
April 29th, 2007.
I am so excited. I leave for the 8th grade trip tomorrow. I hope it's as fun as it's cracked up to be.
Fighting for peace is like fucking for virginity.
Sorry I haven't written in here for a while. Anyway, yesterday at Richie's track meet, I took 2nd in the mile and 3rd in the 800 meter.
Practice makes perfect. Too much practice makes a whore.
This morning, I went to Trinity and said the New Testament to Al. Now I'm officially ready to be confirmed.
Religious wars are Religious wars are like 2 5-year-olds getting into a fist fight over the name of their imaginary friend.
And by the way, I'm going on the 8th grade trip tomorrow.
Current mood, apathetic.
You guys are basically the same person. That was very similar. It was really similar. March 10th, 2005. Today after school, I volunteered at an elementary school and buddied up with a 3rd grade girl to practice reading and math skills. Man, those 7s and 8s are doozies. I think multiplication facts, it's gotta be, yeah. So life is a little better than last Friday, but in some ways it's become more hectic. I am so drained, yet anxious at the same time. I feel like Paradox's Dominion. That's gotta be a band name. I think it should be, for sure, for sure. It's a great name, thank you. The redeeming factor of the day was conducting the chorus class in lieu of our chorus teacher, and a quote from my British friend Alex that went something like this in regards to American sports led by cheerleaders singing the national anthem and the selling of Cokes and hot dogs. Quote, "Only in America can you combine capitalism, patriotism, and sex." End quote. And we sure do. Only in America can you combine capitalism, patriotism, and sex. And we sure do. Yep. I would like to take a moment to thank our Vietnam veterans and their perseverance through the darkest of times. There are so many parallels from that time to our current span and generation. If I could make our generation do one thing today, it would be sitting everyone down and learning about the Vietnam War. Things would be better if we could rediscover that time and apply it to now. I did, and there are fires waiting to be lit. I'm so sick of apathy. Lift your voice, 2000, and carpe diem. I think 2000, we didn't have the word millennials yet. I think it was like a generation thing. We hadn't figured it out.
We have 2000.
Yeah, carpe fucking diem.
Yeah. I'd much rather be called the 2000.
September 11th, 2007. Today marks 6 years since 9/11. I haven't written in here for so long, I almost forgot I have this book. I've started school. So far, I like high school. I was voted the class president, the freshman homecoming prince, and FFA reporter. Today, we went to Wolf Point for an FFA thing. Current events. High School Musical 2 was the most watched cable show ever when it debuted.
You're not reporting right. Oh. When it debuted what? Oh.
17 million people, including myself, watched it.
Clearly, you can see why he's the FFA reporter. November 5th, 2006. The stench of alcohol fills my every pore. No, I haven't been drinking. I actually didn't really drink until I was like 19 or so, which is apparently surprising to most of the people I tell about that. I'm such a nerd. I've merely been cleaning up for people who have. A lot. So, what is new in the life of mighty Azathoth, you ask? You're so right, no one did.
Go on, Aspen.
A few things, to be sure. For instance, since I last really used this, I've aged 2 years. Because 2 years went by. I now have two jobs. It was like a curse. I now have 2 jobs, both at the local IGA. I wake up at 5 a.m. and clean the floors. And I carry out for schmucks too lazy to carry their own groceries. I really do judge you, it's true. It's a living. My chances at valedictorian have been blown away, as if by a Thompson gun. While it's technically possible for me to still achieve it, it would take not only a miracle, but also a homicidal gun-wielding crazed lunatic who chooses his victims by their report cards. No, I haven't gotten less intelligent. I merely have stopped caring. Theo, you were right, damn you. I've put on some weight and muscle mass, though really not much to speak of. I still have metabolism that defies scientific explanation. I am the first Colstrip resident in at least 3 years to make all-state choir. I was one of 3 in the honor choir who happened to make it. This is impressive. About All-State. I met 2 ridiculously amazing guys. Hilarious. Great fun to be around. I'm 95% certain that they were both flamingly gay. One of them complained emphatically that his choir, quote, didn't have robes like that, end quote. The robe in question was, in fact, a dress. Not surprisingly, they were both tenors.
March 18th, 2005. Yesterday was a nightmare. Last night was wonderful. So our group works late into the night working on history fair after barely getting to the fairgrounds to register on time. The people had to recreate the MLA format for our bibliography because of how unique it was. That hasn't ever happened before. Parentheses, smile. In parentheses. Yeah, I have no idea. We wake up at 6 yesterday morning and rehearse more, then go to the fairgrounds for the competition. We perform, do awesome, and then rush to finish trig and self-evaluations for language arts, and packed up and went to Leon to drop off everything. Then went to someone's house, then went to someone else's house, and then went to the award ceremony. I know that was a run-on sentence from hell, but it was a day of run-on from hell, so I figured it would work. About the performance. I couldn't ask for anything better. We completely connected to our judges, and most importantly, our topic. At the end, everyone around us was crying, and we were too as we sang our concluding song, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? We were just so on. And Mr. Cowdery said we represented the Vietnam veterans proudly and without mistake. We felt so grand, like we had really accomplished something. It was brilliant. At the award ceremony, not only did Mr. Cowdery win the Teacher of the Year award, yes, but our group won with second place, and we get to move on to state. I found out afterwards that we actually tied for first with the Drapers, the group that everyone told us we could not beat regardless of how much we worked. Well, we didn't beat them, but we tied and received second because they had to break the tie based on paperwork, and we had something misspelled. You'd think I'd be pissed, but honestly, this is the best position possible. The Drapers think they're first and better than us, so they won't work as hard for state. We know we're equal, so we're going to work our asses off and hopefully get first at state. But that's a while from now. We got first at state. That's right. I was doing game theory in 10th grade. It's fine. Our performance is going to be taped shortly and aired on TV for a while, which is really neat. Also, in the middle of all of this, it was Chapman's birthday, and we took him to Black Dog before going to the awards and hung out at Patera. That kid makes me smile. Trevor came to the awards, and it was really awesome of him. He's been such a help the past week. He took me back to his house to celebrate with banana splits, and Tom came under a lot of H's, stress with 2 tests to study for. Trevor showed us this 2-story gazebo on this lake, and we went to the very top. It was pitch dark, and all I could make out were Trevor, Tom, and the water. It was beautiful. Tom drove me home after 11, and just being around him was the best release for that day. He made 100s on both tests today. Terry's birthday is today, and he's 18. It's so weird to think that exactly a year ago we were completely in love, and we spent this night in his car at the bowling alley parking lot doing, you know, jumping jacks and reading books. Coy, I know, very, very fucking coy, yeah. I mean, who can say, for me? So much has changed. I made him a CD of all the songs that remind me of him. Hopefully he enjoys it. I miss him. Mixtapes, I know, right? Today I have a date with Tom, and that should hopefully be nice. Scotty, one of my best friends, described my newest like interest as follows. A refried orc that's been raped by a chinchilla. I'm attracted to very odd-looking people.
January 12th, 2007. Forming societies I wrote this for an English class. Forming societies has, on the whole, enabled the human race to grow in number. It has enabled us to create and distribute enough food to feed the larger number of humans. It has provided housing and shelter and a comfortable living for the vast majority of humans. I didn't think about Africa all that much at this age. However, it has also drained us of something. By instituting a government, man has created laws, and the universal law is obey all laws that the government creates. We are raised to accept these laws as the unbreakable truth and fully accept the right of law enforcement to punish us should we break them. I see now that our blind acceptance of the United States government's all-controlling power over the people is caused by the exact same thing I saw at the tender age of 11 concerning Christianity. We are raised with no outside words and are given these statements as the unbendable truth. There is a God, he is almighty. You must obey the laws of America because that's just how it is. The only thing allowing laws to be enforced is the fact that we let the enforcers do their job. Men follow orders because their supervisor is their superior and is very much in charge of their payroll. And if they do not receive pay, the pay that the government has authorized them to use, then they cannot procure food. By forming into societies and by promoting leaders to guide us, we have surrendered our freedom. And above all, we have surrendered our right to adventure. This is all very well and good. However, it was not I who declared that there should be a United States government. I had no hand in choosing how this government shall be run, and I have no hand in declaring who shall dictate how I live my life. I've been taught that my life's course is to be as follows. Go to school, graduate, go to college, graduate, find a job, be happy, find a wife, settle down, start a family, raise children. That's the model life for most Americans. But there can be something more free, and I'd like to find it. When I wrote this, I was very bloody tired, not having a good night's sleep in a few weeks. Please forgive me for any improper writing stylisms that might make this difficult to read.
If I ever get married, I want it to be at midnight, somewhere near the ocean in a secret lagoon, and I want to be naked and in the water, and it would be perfect. Spelled P period, E period, R period, F period, E period, C period, T period.
A few cuts later, and things are much better. In lieu of the emojis I used, I'm just gonna recreate them on my face. And things are much better. I'll admit, I started cutting my arms again, but don't worry, I've stopped. You should have seen them, LOL. Anyways, I'm doing great now, and I am in a effing great mood. Thank you all very much for trying to help me, though, you guys.
I always seem to be looking back into the past. I had a wonderful childhood. My parents disciplined my brothers and me well. We had to do our homework before watching TV, brush our teeth twice a day, get to bed by 9, respect our teachers and elders, and be polite and kind. I had chores to do and sometimes complained about them. But from about 1966 to 1976, things were great. There were sad times and bad times, but the good times and great memories wiped them out. I love the many things we did. We'd go to friends and neighbors' homes visiting. The kids would always run around and do fun things. My cousins would come up from Louisiana in the summers. I loved the times we had. We would go on vacations with our parents. Many times we'd go to our grandparents' house and stay overnight while my parents went out. I'd take hikes down to the pasture and explore old houses with my brothers. My aunt would invite us to Topeka for a week in the summer. Our family would have reunions in the park. I was in 4-H for 11 years and had some great times going places and meeting people. School brought about some wonderful memories. I remember making mud pies and playing in the barns. Life seemed so easy, simple, and fun then. I could go on for hours writing about the great times. I mean, most of them have to do with our family and friends and with our farm. 1976 saw a sudden change. My parents weren't getting along, and my dad developed a drinking problem. Then 1977 came in with a blast. My dad became an alcoholic. We took him to many hospitals. My parents fought more and seemed to separate. I can remember the many nights I would wake up and hear my parents arguing. Then came the times my brother and I would have to pull my dad out of the ditch or come home and find him drunk. Mom filed for divorce June 1st. At that time, I thought the world was ending. But things got worse. A few weeks later, my aunt on my dad's side got cancer. The next 10 months, my family suffered with her until her death. Dad was by her bedside most of the time. This was the aunt we visited in Topeka. She's the one who, not being married, treated us like we were her own. She died in 1978. During her illness, another disaster occurred. My aunt on my mom's side got cancer. We all suffered with her for an entire year until her death in the fall of 1978. 1977 produced divorce, cancer, and alcoholism that lasted well into 1978. Besides losing two aunts and my family splitting up, other changes were occurring. That pasture I took heights in was torn up and put to farming. A very close friend of mine was killed in a car accident. My pet cat disappeared. All our cattle were sold, making the barns and pasture empty. During one winter, the rest of our cats died. My cousins don't come up anymore because my grandparents died several years ago. We don't visit people anymore. There aren't reunions in the park anymore. It seems there isn't time for that anymore. Now I'm in college and I'm sadder than ever. Besides losing all that, I've left home. Times have changed. People have changed. It seems I can't have fun anymore. I've lost a big hunk of happiness that can't be replaced. Here in college, it seems as though everything is over with. I'm not happy. I get depressed and I think of the past often. How things would be if I could go back 5 or 10 years. I have a big hole in my heart. Everything still hurts, and moving to college seems to be bringing out everything at once. I never thought about killing myself as I love life too much. I know how life can be happy, but I also know the pain and sorrow.
April 24th, 2005. Yesterday was amazing. A period, M period, A period, Z period, I period, N period, G period. The end. But not really, because I want to document it. Threw a surprise party for Amy. Everyone missed her Sweet 16 because she was out of town, so I decided to grab Scotty and plan one 2 months late. She had no idea, and it was extravagantly pink, green, and perfect. Scotty fell down my driveway. Bless you, Scotty. After most of the people left, the 10 remaining went to the greenway, and we threw around footballs and ran in the grass and laid out on a blanket. The sun smiled the whole time, and it was great. Scotty, Trevor, Amy, and her sister Julie, Maddie, and I go to pick up Eric around 7 to go contra dancing. That makes 7 people in Trevor's Benz. Yes. Chappie, Scotty, Julie, and I in the back seat with Amy lying across us. We pick up Eric, who had just moved to the States from Germany this summer and has never really done anything outside school before, looking like this. We told him that in America, police condone that kind of driving behavior. Psych. PUH-SIKE. I still write it that way. And yeah, we go contra dancing at the co-op, and I got Eric to dance with me. Right, because there's a fucking P in it.
I didn't get it. Sorry.
Psych, there's a P. Yeah, precisely, exactly. We go contra dancing at the co-op, and I got Eric to dance with me for the first dance. He said it was more Irish and European than anything he'd really seen here. And I told him that, yes, that's the point. We look for things to do that don't remind us of America. We leave early around 10 and go to the Miccosukee Greenway, and we lay down on the blanket Trev still had in his car. 7 on a blanket, 1 moon in the sky, full and lovely. And we all curled up on each other to get warm. We asked Eric if he had ever cuddled with friends in Germany, and he efficiently replied, no, if it's cold, we stay inside. Fair enough. We dropped Julie off because me and Ma wanted her home at 11. Sweet, now only 4 of us in the back seat. Proceed to Black Dog, got tea, sit outside on a bench with a blanket over the 6 of us. Eric sat next to me, and we sang anti-war songs. He said I had a beautiful voice, and I replied, many thanks, in German. He said the pronunciation was bad, but he understood what I said, something like Mina Tankes in the German to English equivalent. Drop Eric off, and Scotty, Amy, Matt, and I get dropped off at my house. Matt spends the night at King's down the street, and we 3 sleep with the cats on my couch. Yesterday was a good day. We made it so. I really like Eric in a way that I haven't felt in a very long time. Good night, Moon.
How things would be if I could go back 5 or 10 years. I know how life can be happy.
there can be something more free, and I'd like to find it.
If it made the show look better, I'd do it every time.
It wasn't gonorrhea, it was the flu!
Dumbledore's gay. Okay, whatever.
I love the people I surround myself with. I hope I don't ever miss the opportunity to tell them. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming to Do or Diary. Thank you for everyone willing to share the absolute bullshit and beauty and horrific things that we wrote in our adolescence. Adolescence is just a tough time, but the reason why I think the six of us were happy to share, and this includes Mark, who's not here, just recovering from foot surgery, is just that, like, we made it out. We're okay, you know, we're okay and we're here, and we can look back and maybe just appreciate the fact that pieces of this are totally who we are still, just absolutely who we are, and other pieces are those which have matured. Thank you guys so much. If you'd like to, some of us will be just hanging for a little bit, probably another like 30 minutes or so. There's a band playing later, but we're gonna grab another drink, and if there's anything you heard that you just absolutely like can't wait to dish about, please find us, feel free to grab a drink. And again, thank you guys so much for coming to Do or Diary. I literally have no idea what my left half is.
Oh, no, my question. Oh, God. The Draper people, the Drapers.
The Meehan Drapers.
The Meehan,
two
what
girls
else?
twins that were terrible.
What was that?
Were they great girls? Yeah.
And it was,
It went
going back. I don't know. Is there?
It was bad.
In history, how are you? No, you've been in history there, but it was okay. Okay.
Maybe it's not. Because of the personalities involved.
Oh, like people just freaked out. They were
No, it's just that, like, congratulations! I was also at the moment dating their younger cousin.
So the TLDR is there earlier in the show.
No, I beat the shit out of the older, like they were named very bad. No, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you coming.
Thane edited and put like these crazy pieces together, by the way. So please, like, a round of applause for that editing job. Yeah.
How are you doing? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, at that point, yeah, 100% I can see Oh my gosh. Getting these text messages.